It's Sunday, February 12th, 2023. You're listening to episode 3 of Wes and Shelley Share The Wild Robot, coming to you from Matthews, North Carolina. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, Shelley.
Oh, really? Is it Super Bowl Sunday? I had no idea.
It is. We have a new tradition.
Yeah, we're going to go out to dinner because nobody is at the restaurant.
And we went to the Southern Pecan, which is like the first it might have been the first restaurant I ever went to here in Charlotte. Or maybe it was the second night. But anyway, it's a very, very nice place. And yes, we are, although, we have family that are Kansas City Chiefs fans. We're not huge football fans, so a great night for a dinner out. Why did you title this episode The Wild Robot?
Well, because that's my book for this one. So we've done 2 books that were favorites of our children, and then I have a favorite book series called The Wild Robot. It has 2 books in the series, and it's been my favorite to read to students the last few years. So I'd like to talk about it.
For people who might not have heard our first 2 podcasts, how would you describe the Wes and Shelley Share podcast? Although we can read, should we read the official description?
Sure. Why don't you read the official?
Wes and Shelley Fryer share about outdoor adventures, healthy life habits, parenting and marriage, navigating the opportunities and challenges of the empty nest. But we're going for 30-minute shows. We have Wander and Wonderlinks, which actually, I don't know, do we have those?
Well, I guess it's not a Wonderlink. I just wanted to talk about my book.
Yeah. Well, and so we're having a theme, really, with a picture book each time.
A book, a children's book.
A children's book, right, that relates in some way to our lives. And what are we going to talk about tonight in the episode on the 5-year plan?
Yeah, I think we're going to share our 5-year plan. So just some of the things that there was a podcast that you were listening to, and they had done this, and we thought, man, that's kind of a good idea. So we did some brainstorming about some of the things that we would like to do in the next 5 years. And then, we spent some time just thinking about the books that we love to read. So
Yeah. All right, so that's what we're going to do tonight. And we're excited because our daughters have agreed to record outros. So I think we're going to have Sarah's outro tonight at the end. So, as Shelley said, this was inspired by a podcast that I really found through a YouTube video I watched, and it was recommending homesteading podcasts. And so this is called Roots and Refuge, and their episode 3 is called 5-Year Vision. And they actually live down in South Carolina. And so we'll do a shout out to them and this idea of basically dreaming together, but also, I've known for a long time that writing down your goals and your dreams has power and make those things visible. And so as we're here in the empty nest in this new season of life, it's definitely good to think about the things that we want to accomplish and do and just the dreams that we have. Because life is short, believe it or not, and we want to live the life that we have well and have things to look forward to, because we've learned that really adds to the joy of life, whether it's looking forward to a trip or to a meal or, whatever it is.
Right. I think it's always good to be looking forward to something.
Absolutely. That's part of hope. So tell us a little bit about The Wild Robot first. That's our show theme. How did you discover The Wild Robot?
We want to do it first? Honestly, I don't know how I discovered it. I mean, I love reading science fiction and fantasy. I think one year I was deciding that my classroom theme would be robots. And so I started looking for books. I love reading aloud to my students. It doesn't matter what age or stage they're in. I just love reading out loud. And so I came across this book by Peter Brown, The Wild Robot, and just fell in love with it. I mean, it's fun. It's about technology, but it's also about animals and the environment. And so it just really related with a lot of the things that I was trying to do in STEM. I I love technology and I love robotics, but I also love creation and animals and nature, and I'm a real nature lover, and so I just really like the way that this book brings the things that I love together.
We should do a show about robotics, actually, because I loved how you and Michelle had that project of create was sort of a biomimicry.
Sure,
robot.
Biomimicry, an animal that lives in the wild, and students had to research its environment
And
so
watch
that it
videos
would.
of actual scientists and roboticists who do that.
Yeah,
Let's
there
do
was a program on National Geographic, I think, about.
Well, and so I started to read that last year with my students. What's really cool from my perspective, is how artificial intelligence plays into that, because the main character of the book, named Roz, is a robot, and she becomes sentient in the course of the book. But it's a trilogy, right?
It's just two.
The Wild Robot Escapes is number 2.
Yes. And it really, she just outgrows her programming. I mean, in fact, the areas that I've just recently highlighted, I've just finished the second Wild Robot Escapes just this week. And she really just outgrows. It's about a robot that there's a hurricane and their ship crashes, and so she is the only surviving robot on an island that doesn't have any humans, and it's only animals, and nobody knows the island exists, and so
she learns to speak animal.
She learns to speak animal, and she becomes one of the animals, and
she becomes
and
a mother.
She does this by becoming wild. And so first she observes, and it's the whole story about, and she becomes a mother. Yes, she adopts a goose named Brightbill.
He was an orphan.
He was an orphan. And anyway, it's just about her becoming who she is.
But as we are hearing, of course, much more about artificial intelligence these days, you can't turn around without a news article about ChatGPT from OpenAI. A couple of years ago in Sunday school, we actually read a book about AI and ethics. There's really a lot of important thinking and conversations that we should have, and even decision making, and potential for laws. I mean, it's hard to anticipate things, but anyway, this is science fiction anticipates the future in a lot of ways. But I think this is a really positive book that is about AI and robots, but it's also about humanity and kindness. And
you say that, and that's exactly what I just highlighted. This is towards the end, and Roz,
of Wild Robot Escapes.
And she's talking to her maker for the very first time.
The person who created
the person that created all of the robotics.
Right.
And then this is Roz talking, and she says, "Although I could speak to the animals, they didn't trust me," said Roz. "So I tried to win them over with kindness. Animals ran from me and laughed at me and attacked me, and I always responded with kindness. It was a good strategy, but the real key to my survival came in the form of a gosling. When I adopted Brightbill, everything changed. I was finally accepted by the animals. I was surrounded by friends and family. I was home." "Am I the only wild robot?" said Roz. "I don't know," said Dr. Mulvo. "Many defective robots have returned over the years. It's possible that some were like you, until we destroyed them." "Will you destroy me?" The woman sighed. "Roz, people are afraid of you. They saw you fleeing through the city, and they think you're dangerous. They want to know danger is gone. And so, when we're finished speaking, I will have to destroy you." "I'm not dangerous," said the robot. "That part of my programming has never failed. Even if I wanted to be violent, I could not." "Have you ever wanted to be violent?" "No. Every problem has a peaceful solution. Violence is unnecessary." Anyway, it is. It's about,
deep themes.
Deep themes, really deep themes. I mean, it's not, it's something that my third graders definitely related to. I think my fifth graders also relate to it. But me as an adult, you know, I see so much perspective and the life that we are. And
didn't you say there was some that you read recently about identity and struggle with identity? Or what were the things that you really resonated with?
Well, and here's
lately?
another section that it's a couple pages later. Quietly, Roz asked her designer, "What is my purpose?" "I'm sorry to disappoint you, Roz, but you don't have some grand purpose. Like all Rosum robots, you were designed to work for humans. That's it." The robot thought for a moment, and then she said, "I once suggested to a group of wild animals that my purpose might be simply to help others." The designer thought for a moment, and then she said, "When you put it that way, your purpose does sound rather grand, doesn't it?" So, I mean, she's seeking purpose for her life.
That's right.
You know, she's seeking identity. Where do I fit in? Where do I fit in? You know, into this environment.
Yeah. Wow. Well, and, you know, we're not, as far as we know, you know, having artificial general intelligence yet. And there's debate whether we will. There are some people that think we'll have it in 12 to 18 months. Others say 5 years. Others say longer than that. But I have had the experience now working with ChatGPT and interacting with it. This was a few weeks ago. I was trying to write some JavaScript, which I don't know how to do, but ChatGPT knows a lot of JavaScript. I had this experience of interacting with an algorithm, you know, with code in a way that I never had before. And one of the things I've wondered about AI is what might be emergent from it.
Right.
You know, because it's very interesting. We're very sort of techie, geeky people, but we're also, you know, people of faith and believe in God and follow Jesus. And, you know, theologically, we have understandings about right and wrong and what we're to do and not do, and about grace and forgiveness and love and things like that. And so anyway, it's an interesting question to think about with these artificial intelligence algorithms that are being developed to learn, like Roz. You know, is what will be emergent, and you know, science fiction continues to just portray them as they're going to destroy humanity, they're going to be evil, they're going to see, you know, humans as parasites and all this. But I think it's just so cool that this book, and I've only read The Wild Robot, you know, is so approachable for kids. And to be clear, it's not a picture book. The first two books we've done have been picture books, but it's still a children's book. But it's really deep, and it's very contemporary in terms of the issues that it talks about. And I think it's...
I love this, too. It says, "I didn't choose to be this way," said Roz, "but this is who I am. You would be wild, too, if you had been born and raised in a wilderness. Maybe I am defective. Maybe everything I've experienced is a result of a glitch. But if so, what a beautiful glitch. I have my own thoughts and feelings. I made a life for myself. I have a son, Brightbill, somewhere out there right now wondering if he will ever see his mother again.
Wow.
Dr. Malvo, you don't have to destroy me. You can fix me, and I will return to my island, and this city will never see me again. I promise."
Ugh. And there's so many questions here about rights, you know, even for animals is a big issue. But, you know, what... Wow.
Yeah, so anyway, it's just a beautiful story, and it's just a story of becoming and a story of love, you know.
Survival.
Adventure. Family.
Yes. Well, and that's what I was going to say is that whole theme of family. You know, we've had some house guests for the first time outside of our, you know, immediate family and significant others of our children, and I was struck, you know, last night with one of them just, you know, saying, "Thank you so much. This felt like family."
Yeah,
that's a high compliment.
It's a high
tall
compliment.
praise.
And you know what? When you're far away from home,
Yes.
she's a dual language teacher at our school, and
From Columbia.
This is from Columbia, and this is her first trip to the United States, and this is her first job teaching here in the United States. I mean, she's taught
In a
before,
very difficult
and
situation.
and anyway, she's just she's craving family, and so it was absolutely wonderful. Family is important.
Yep. And family doesn't necessarily mean biological family.
No, absolutely. I mean, we know that. I mean, we have so many family that we've adopted into our family.
people
In
have
fact,
adopted us.
It's interesting that our daughter, Sarah, has a friend at school, her friend Jennifer, and I think, who has become family and like a sister to Sarah. And so in our family dinner, Sarah invited Jennifer
We had a
over.
Zoom dinner.
We had a
Yeah.
Zoom dinner.
Right,
And,
last Sunday.
Sarah had told Jennifer, I just want, you can be a member of our family. We're going to adopt you into our family. And Jennifer's like, what does that mean?
I didn't know that.
But and it's like,
And Fu was
sure, we have our son Fu. That was Alexander's best friend since 6th grade. And, we have Simon, who's a friend, and Eric, who's family. I mean, we just have so many family that have spent time with us. And a lot of that is thanks to you, honey. I mean, a lot of that is because, you cook for people and you love to share food with people, and it's a legacy your parents have set up for us, your mother and father, who would invite people over, or Danielle, and it's just, I think it's a wonderful thing that we are able to open up our house and create family around us, know where we are, and make sure that everybody has a place to go.
Well, that's what we're in the midst of. So,
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've gone a little bit beyond the 15 minutes for halftime, so we pause for a short word from Cook with Wes. This episode of Wes and Shelley Shares is brought to you by Cook with Wes. Cook with Wes is my, Wes Fryer's, personal passion project, sharing lots of food photos, a few recipe videos, lots of barbecue and smoked meat adventures, and many other recipes from my indoor and outdoor kitchens. You can find all our family recipes on food.wesfryer.com and follow Cook with Wes on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. If you're on Mastodon, and really, why not? Since Twitter has become a bit of a dumpster fire, you can search for the hashtag CookWithWes to find my latest food shares there. Well, I did start a separate YouTube channel for Cook with Wes, but I've continued to post most of my cooking videos on YouTube on my main channel. You can access the complete playlist at wfryer.me/cook. Thanks for tuning in to Wes and Shelley Shares. I hope to see you on social media on one of the channels for Cook with Wes. All right, we're back from halftime. Who got you the Wild Robot books, Shelley?
Yeah, so this was the year, I think Alexander was home for COVID. Maybe before that. But Alexander got these books for me for Christmas.
Did he find them, or did you tell him?
No,
about
I
it?
already had them. It was, in our family now, we have these Amazon wish list things, and everybody puts out their wish list, and then you get to pick, from that list. I think it's actually a pretty ingenious. Everybody gets what they want. It's still a surprise. There's things of various costs. Anyway, so Alexander got these books for me.
Off your wish list.
Yeah, after my
Okay.
Amazon wish list.
All right, well, that was the Wild Robot AI and Family. Let's talk about our 5-year plan. So, and I did put this on your phone if you want to bring it up, too. I shared it with you.
Let me find that.
So, we there's a lot of things. There's probably 20 things on this list.
Yeah, we don't have to read all 20. That'd be boring.
Well, I think that we'll editorialize on some of them. So, we have some medical bills to pay off. We have some credit card debt to pay off.
Yes, it's
And
always important.
Those are things we've done before, paying off debts, and that's kind of the season that we're in.
I think we have a few things. Home improvement. I know that's always important for
Well,
me.
let's just go down. Let's go down. Okay,
We
yeah.
don't have to read them all.
But I think it is good. No, this is for us too. We'll listen to this again. We'll reflect on this. We don't have to editorialize on everything.
No, but I mean, come on. They don't want to hear our whole list. But 5-year plan. these are the things I'd like to get done with the house so that we can enjoy them. We always say this. We always say we're going to do these things to the house so that, we can enjoy them before we, have to have it ready to sell again, which we have no desire anytime soon to move again.
No.
But definitely the bathroom needs to be updated. I think that the master bathroom. Yeah.
You want to paint the master bedroom.
I do.
I want to install, and this is probably soon, an electrical transfer switch so we can hook a generator up.
Oh, that's the top of my list.
That's mine, and I want to get a two fuel generator. Costco has them for about $1,000. It can run off natural gas, or off of unleaded gas. And hey, we all need to be prepared for natural disaster, and one of the most basic things we need is electricity. And hopefully, in Syria, the death toll is over 30,000 right now. It is crazy.
It's really
hard. We were talking about that today at church,
that.
And we're just fortunate here in the United States and here specifically in North Carolina that, if we do lose power, it's usually for just a few hours. And as our one of our pastors was saying, then we, grumble for Duke Energy, who's our energy company, to get that fixed soon. And, and it usually does. But in Turkey and Syria, these things aren't coming on and being restored quickly. But anyway, emergency preparedness, we could do a whole show about that. But I want to do those things.
Right. Well, one thing I do want, and we can add this to our wander too, because we do love to wander and have adventures, but Wes and I would really love to have a travel trailer.
Yes.
This is why one reason we moved to North Carolina is because we're so accessible, within a few hours of the beach and the mountains, and we would really enjoy a trailer.
We had a pop-up trailer for years when we lived in Lubbock, Texas, when our favorite thing at the end of school.
We paid $500 for that.
It was from a neighbor who was from the 70s and had been in a garage the whole time. It was in perfect condition.
It was.
But the favorite thing was school would be out, and we would hop in the trailer and drive about 6 hours to eastern New Mexico to areas around Los Alamos, Jemez Springs. What were the names of those other places? Holy Ghost Campground. Oh gosh.
Cimarron. Did we ever go to Cimarron?
We never camped there, but we drove through to Red River and in Eagle's Nest and
some really
Taos.
Awesome things.
We just love
memories.
those areas.
So I don't know that we want a pop-up trailer.
No, we're done with that.
Yeah.
Shelley did.
Trailer.
We had a season of tent camping and blow up mattresses and beds But yeah, no, that's definitely, and that's on the 5-year plan. I think on the 10-year plan, we'd like to have a mountain cabin, but in the 5-year plan, we want to get a used trailer and maybe one that's refurbished. Our friend Tammy Parks in Howe, Oklahoma, in southeastern Oklahoma, and her husband.
She's been doing vintage
Scott.
trailers.
Yeah, they restore trailers, and in fact, that's how we went to Moonshine Creek that we talked about maybe in our first show. You want to write a book, Nicole?
I do.
Nicole Stott. Who's that, and how did she inspire you?
Nicole Stott. She's an astronaut, a NASA astronaut, and I heard a podcast about her book that she'd written about things that she'd learned about space and being an astronaut. And I thought, hey, I could write a book about the things I've learned about being a teacher and educating students. And so anyway, I thought, well, maybe I'll write a book.
I heard a rumor that you had a ghostwriter.
I do. I have somebody. All I have to do is speak the words, and they write. Hey, it's just chat.
It's like ChatGPT.
Yeah,
maybe I'll be replaced.
Chat West PT.
I'll be replaced.
Yeah.
Well, we need to write on your blog too. Just even the space links that you did last week that you got so excited about, and just sharing those.
Yeah, the astronaut from North Carolina. There's my wonder link. It's too early for that, but astronaut Tom Marshburn, astronaut from North Carolina.
I think you might have talked about him a little bit last time. Maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
I forgot.
Okay.
I'm getting old.
Barbecue smoker trailer. That's your number one.
Oh, definitely.
Why is that your number one?
Because I just love me some barbecue.
So Mike, who's named Magic Mike at our church, who's in our Sunday school class, retired and for about 6 years went into the barbecue catering business. And so he has typed up a 4-page single-spaced summary for me, and I finally got to go over to his house where he had smoked a whole pork shoulder, which is about 20 pounds of meat, and done a couple beer can chickens. He did the dinner for Night at the Inn, which is during the winter months, one night per month that our church participates in an ecumenical ministry of providing a bed and places,
A safe place,
warm place to sleep for folks that are without housing, and then also a meal. So anyway, I got all that and got to hear about that. So we'll see, but this could really happen, and I don't know. I love cooking for people. I love barbecue, and so that's
basically
on the
Wes
list.
wants to go into the catering business.
Well,
because he needs more
I think
things to do.
Yeah, Shelly thinks I have too many hobbies, and at some point Shelly's going to get some hobbies. So
maybe same.
yeah, okay. We want to get a new Pearl 4Runner for you.
Oh well,
a used one.
Yes. Okay. Travel plans. So in the next 5 years, these are some of our travel plans, mainly local, because again, we've moved to North Carolina, but we would love to continue exploring North Carolina in our area, but also to go back and explore some of the areas that we love in Virginia, Harper's Ferry, and maybe do another wine festival at Monticello.
I want to float down the river. Remember seeing the people floating down?
Sounds fun.
That would be fun.
Mm-hmm. We're very close to Florida, and so we've never been to Disney World, and
Just
so
Disneyland.
That would be fun. And then long-term trips, maybe I'd love to go back to Germany. We'd love to go visit our friends in South Africa.
Mm-hmm. New Zealand, I'd love to go back to see my host mom and family there and show Shelly where I lived and went to school and places. New Zealand is truly Middle Earth, and of course we could do the whole Lord of the Rings tour. And
I want to go to Alaska. I don't know if Alaska's in the 5-year plan or the 10-year plan, but I would love to go to Alaska. I've watched the Netflix show Dr. Oakley, who is a wildlife and animal vet in the Yukon, and so I would love to go. And I just love watching the show because I love watching the scenery.
Well, both our parents did take Alaskan cruises, and I think those were real highlights for them.
Yeah, so I'd like to spend some time there.
I'd like to go back to Hawaii, and then I'd love to go back to Jamaica or a Caribbean trip. So, and what is the SEEK conference, Shelley?
The SEEK conference was this past weekend.
What does SEEK stand for?
It's Science Educators.
Space Exploration.
Yeah, Space Exploration Educators Conference.
There you go.
Thank you. So
it
is about science. And last year, Wes and I got to go, and I met my first astronaut there. And they got to sit down and talk to Jessica Watkins, who I predict, this is Shelley Fryer's prediction, that Jessica Watkins will be the first female African-American to land and walk on the moon. I do. I believe that. I think she is absolutely amazing. She's a geologist. She was a rugby player.
She has a wonderful video. We'll include show notes as we're doing. And we'll include that video of her, because that's one of the ones you had last Friday in your show, in your Space Links, and I think I need to show that to my kids. That is so inspiring, and she's
got a great
amazing.
story. And
absolutely.
Anyway, so but the SEEK conference was this past week in Houston, Texas,
at the Johnson
Space Center, and it's just a really awesome place for science teachers and STEM teachers, and to connect and find people in their tribe. They did a lot of work with the Artemis missions, of course, since we've just had the first Artemis mission 1. So it's just, we miss going. We're actually leaving town this next weekend, and so we just really didn't feel like we could be gone 2 weekends in February. So.
Yes, so that's and then of course our son is there in Houston. So that's, I mean, I think we'd love to go to that every year and just make this the only year that we missed it. So
something else we'd like, and this kind of goes into our health journey, is to really kind of get more into our hiking, but more on a serious note. We were thinking about maybe possibly making a backpacking trip. We would like to kind of up our exercise game. So I would really like to maybe even work with a trainer So after losing 50 pounds and really working hard to keep that off, really working hard to, instill our healthy habits. I think I would like to now that I'm where I would like to be, I would like to go ahead and start working on, building muscle.
And having a
muscle
goal,
tone.
I was hearing
Absolutely.
some teachers at school talking about marathons and running, and I am not ever going to do that. I do not want to ever run a marathon, but, having a trip to get up for. What is your backpacking history, Shelley?
Oh, my dad. Well, you know what? I never backpacked with my dad now that I think about it. We did a lot of camping and we did a lot of fishing, but I think my first backpacking trip was with a youth group with our presbytery. I had already done a lot of camps and
Outdoor education.
and had camped a lot. So anyway, Sunlight Christian Camp.
Southwest Colorado, right?
Yeah.
By Durango?
With a group of kids from our presbytery. So I was a leader for that trip. So it was a backpacking
And didn't you guys get
outfitters.
caught in the hail? Isn't
That was
something
our
that
second
happened?
trip there. Yeah, I did that 2 summers in a row. On our second trip, we didn't even actually finish that trip. We got caught 2 days out in a huge hailstorm, and all of our equipment got wet. And we were lucky we didn't have kids go hypothermic.
We
It
should
was
do
a
a
dangerous
show,
situation.
stories of backpacking and camping, because that would be...
We should.
Okay, Blue Ridge Mountains, Smoky Mountains, Appalachia. We were thinking about having Christmas at Big Cedar Lodge with our family.
Yeah, I would like to talk to the family about that, actually.
That
That's
would be
something to
really,
talk
really
about
cool.
this
My parents
weekend.
love Big Cedar, and I think you have to make a reservation really, really early. Stay foolish. What does that mean? Do you know where that comes from? Steve Jobs.
No, I didn't know. So you tell me.
Well, I just put that because, multiple reasons, but I think it's just good to be silly and to be whimsical. That's something I love about teaching kids to use Scratch and how you can record your voice and speed it up, and you can do silly things and just be creative and fun.
Okay, so I think it's awesome. Anybody that's been around the Friars long enough knows that we have weird things that we say and things. And so the girls still talk about how you did the funny Dracula voice at the announcements at school when we were at Cassidy.
Oh, that's right.
That's
I
right.
did.
Yeah, so Wes loves to use different voices.
As the technology director,
Yeah.
we had a new phone system, so I recorded all the recordings for each division and department and all this as far as the phone, messages. But then on our speaker system, I recorded the emergency broadcast or whatever. But yeah.
In Dracula's voice.
Well, but I think I just did one. Was that just for Halloween that I
have
did?
no idea.
I think it embarrassed Rachel.
No, but I think she kind of liked it. Here, do some Dracula for me, honey.
Gosh, I've got to put myself in that mindset.
Okay.
Well, how am I going to do this? I don't even...
I don't know.
It's time for us to do the end of the show because we've gone for 15 minutes and now you're going to tell a story about something. I think you're going to tell a part of Red Robot, Wild Robot. You're going to tell... Yeah, you're going to read story.
We're going to end this podcast then?
Yes.
Okay,
All right,
we've gone too
obviously I haven't practiced, so
No.
sorry that's so bad.
So, it was weird, though. But
Okay.
see, it's stay foolish. That's the whole point.
That is.
We're
That's
gonna stay
exactly
foolish.
right. And honestly,
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of being in pilot training was pretty much talking on the radio. And I think that using silly voices and expression is very fun. And I'm sure that's also what makes reading, our children probably... Anyway, that it just makes it fun, you know?
So are we ready?
Okay, so the Wanderlink is, we went to, yesterday before the rain, Stevens Creek Park, which is a pretty new park in Charlotte-Mecklenburg. It's on the inside of 485 Loop, but it's like 5 minutes from our house, and it's a big figure eight, and we went to the southern entrance and hiked half the loop, which is a little over a mile, but it is absolutely wonderful.
Oh, it's just great. It's like... better than your backyard. The backyard is awesome. We love the backyard, but it's like hiking in the woods.
It's well maintained.
5 minutes from your home.
We've seen deer
it's
there.
Fantastic.
I mean, there's daffodils blooming now.
The frogs are out. You can hear the frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, if you happen
All
to be
right.
anywhere in our area, and then this is the Wonderlink, and this is the conclusion Shelley's going to share
So this is the last chapter of the book, and the wild robot escapes. So our story ends on an island where a robot was returning to her wild way of life. Roz had escaped from the world of humans, and now she was free to be her true self again. She could think and speak and do whatever she desired. And right now, what she desired was simply to watch the sunset. Everything is just right. Roz felt safe and happy and loved. The wild robot was home.
And with that, we encourage you to stay curious and keep exploring.
Wes and Shelley Share is a weekly podcast recorded and published on Sundays by Wesley and Shelley Fryer of Matthews, North Carolina. Learn more and find links to connect on social media to Wes and Shelley by visiting shelleyfryer.com/podcast. Content on this podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Only 3.0 license. The Wes and Shelley Share podcast is recorded and published with Anchor and distributed on all major podcast channels, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, and more. Please share our show on social media and tell others about us. Let us know on Facebook or via other means what you like about the show, that you're listening, and if you have any suggestions for future episodes. Stay curious, go outside, and keep exploring.